I had no idea what I was going to talk about today. It's Thursday, and I normally record on a Wednesday, and I've literally just came home from work. But actually, I think that's the point of this episode, because something has been happening since I started this job that I didn't quite expect. Welcome to the Self-Concept Bestie podcast. I'm your host, Laura. So since starting my new job, something has happened that I was not ever expecting to happen. And it started off simply by me being able to go into the wood workshop that we've got and create. The guy in there who manages it, he doesn't stand over me, he doesn't tell me exactly what to do, he just lets me have a go. And if I have an idea, he always says, Laura, nothing's impossible. And that is music to my ears with somebody who has always had all of these ideas but has never really been able to bring anything to life. I think I've always suppressed that creative side in me. But since starting, I have never felt more alive, more creative, more passionate. And it's got a lot to do. And it all started in this wood workshop. That is not going to be my role in this job at all. I'm going to be the supervisor in our new community corner, which will be able to host events, it'll be able to host workshops, bring the community together. But before it's open, one of my jobs is to get it ready to be open to the public for a launch. But in doing that, I've had the pleasure of being able to work alongside everybody else to see what else they do within the charity. Whether that be in some of the most beautiful gardens that we've got, and they grow some of the most incredible fruit and veg. One of the things I've managed to find is a dragon egg cucumber, which is very rare. And guess what? It's grown in the beautiful garden, which is 10 minutes from my house. Some of the herbs, which they're grown locally, and the public can come in. The community can come in and they can pick the fruit and veg from themselves for like a donation, and then we'll make veg boxes and sell it to the community. It is literally grown locally, and they use like an organic process as well. So being able to go around and see everything. When I walked into that garden, my creative food side, oh my God, that came out. Anybody who knows me knows how much I love to create food. And I always like to create something that's a little bit different. Love watching MasterChef Australia. So whenever I'm watching that, I get loads of ideas. I'm like, oh, maybe this flavour could go together. Maybe that flavour. And in that garden, oh my goodness, there was lemon sage. I was so excited. Artichokes. So yeah, I phoned my sister. I was like, right, we need some other ingredients. We're making something for tea tonight. But just that, I felt like my brain just came alive. And I walked in to the wood workshop and I was like, look, all of the wood right there is all repurposed wood. You know, we're not going B&Q or anything and buying wood here. It is, whether it be like old dead tree trunks or companies who use like big massive solid pallets for transport and transport in parts to help build oil rigs or parts for oil rigs. They donate it to us and they make planters for the community, chopping boards. So I had to get on the chopping board side. Me alongside my food brain, then seeing chopping boards, I was like, oh my God, my brain was like, ding, 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 ding. And again, it's something that we can utilise down in the community corner. The charity make their own jams and chutneys, fresh pressed apple juice. Who doesn't love a good chopping board? An excellent jam and chutney for a cheese board. Oh, so I got in there and I was like, right, I've got this idea. I've got that idea. And he was like, let's go for it. And he just let me use that creative side. And I started to wonder, when did I stop seeing myself as a creative person? The honest answer, I never actually see myself as a creative person. Actually, that's something that I would always say is I'm not that creative. But actually I am. And I've started realising, like, where is that? Like, it's coming from? And it's because I've gave myself that permission to create. I'm in an environment with other people who give themselves permission to create. So I can then just open up different parts of my brain. And do you know, it's a learning curve. Sometimes some things don't work. The curves on one of the chopping boards didn't work out right away, but that was okay because everything can be edited, fixed. And actually sometimes it's better when it's imperfectly perfect. And it got me thinking, how many of us adults don't actually play anymore? Don't allow our creative side to come out. Whether it be painting, whether it be making anything, or whether it be with food. How many of us have suppressed that creative side because of day-to-day life, possible day-to-day stresses? Because I had a really, really good, actually great conversation with somebody that I work with. And how the contrast when they are feeling more low, that's when their creative side flows. And I was like, I'm the opposite. I'm creative when I am feeling light, when I'm feeling free, when I'm feeling happy, which, as any of you who are my dedicated listeners will know, is now my baseline now. But all of the years that I struggled with mental health, depression and anxiety, that creative side of me, it was dormant. I was going to say dead there, but that's a bit too harsh. It was just dormant because my brain was so busy that there was no room for me to have fun. There was no room for me to enjoy something because I was so worried about everything, or I was so down about everything, or I was in that victimised, everything was going wrong for all of the years. But now that I'm lucky enough to have pulled myself out the other end of it, my brain's not got all of this heaviness anymore. There's no weight in my brain. And it's just like lighting up. I feel like if I close my eyes, I could just imagine it like lighting up like gold. Like all different parts of your brain just firing. And that's what I feel like. It's just there's something alive about it. And it's not that some of the things that I have made in the wood workshop, yes, I will be selling down at the community corner. But also just that being able to bring that something to life because I've had a vision, not because the alternative motive had to be to monetize it, or because I had to be productive. I was being productive in that time, and I look back because I done 4 chopping boards when I was in there. I've created this beautiful rustic, it looks like a planter, but I'll house the jams for in the corner. So my brain has pulled out all of this creativity. And the alternative is it is going to be productive, and some of it is going to be able to be monetised. But I didn't go in there automatically. My brain didn't say we have to be creative because we have to make money. I was just being creative because that was my time to spend learning what it is they do within the project and the charity, And then I was able to bring that creative side to life. And as I moved, then I started realising, oh, well, now we can actually utilise this as well. It's locally sourced wood. It's, it's being able to see something from start to finish. Being able to know where it's came from, the process that it's went through. And how amazing is it to be able to come and purchase something like that, because I know that I like to know where I'm getting my things, where I'm sourcing my products from. Is it just out of factory, or actually is it just a couple of people who are using that creative side to bring pieces that you will never get another one of? How amazing is that, to be able to create something so unique that there will never be another one of it? And that's what I'm going to be able to achieve there. And it's funny because I walked into the wood workshop today. I'd had an idea, and the guy who runs it, he looked at me and he knew that I'd had an idea. He knew. And I was like, right, I've got an idea, but I just need you to cut these bits for me, and I'm gonna measure it all and sort it. He's like, right, okay. And we just brought it to life. He just knows whenever he sees me, he's like, oh God, here she comes with another idea. But it's practical. It's for our community. It's very in line with the job that I'm doing as well. It's almost like my creative side is alongside my practical side as well. It's not been dulled by I need to make something to be productive or for it to be monetized. It's actually the opposite. The creativity is coming first. And I actually feel like, I don't know if you can tell here, but I'm maybe speaking a bit quicker than I normally do, because I actually feel excited. I feel lit up. And how powerful is that, to be able to have a job that makes you feel like that? That you're not coming home thinking, oh, what a day. And maybe, if it's been busy, but not in a dreaded way. In a way that you're like, what a day. It's been amazing. And when I'm waking up in the morning, I'm not dreading going to work. Come on. There is a slight goal that we've all got in life, isn't it? And what's the saying? Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, I'm living that. I am living it. And the people that I work alongside, everybody has their own skill set, their own strengths, that when you're in the same room, you can feel that. And that's something to be shouted about. A place where you get to be you, get to be a part of something. And that's what I think that communities are. It's about feeling a part of something. There's no differences, there's no judgments. You bring your strengths and other people have their own strengths, and together we build and create something amazing. So yeah, it's definitely, this new job has brought out a side of me that I almost, maybe I knew was there. I've had glimpses, I've had glimmers of her throughout time, and I've had an idea, but life's then happened, so it's got shut down. Whereas this, there's no shutting down this creative flair of mine now, because there's no heaviness attached to it. And as well, one of the most beautiful things that I've noticed is we don't need to be perfect at everything. Whether it be creating a chopping board out of wood, whether it be painting a picture, art and creativity in its natural form is subjective. It's what we take away from it. And somebody else can look at a piece that you make and take away something totally different, and that is what's beautiful. Because everything means something different to everyone. it doesn't have to be perfect. And when I've took my paintbrush out and done some painting, that's what I've realised. That I might not be able to go and paint somebody's face perfectly with the detail. But what I can paint, that doesn't mean to say that wouldn't speak to somebody in a different way. Art and creativity is what we make of it. And I suppose this podcast is a part of me, a part of my art, a part of my creativity. It's giving myself the permission to use my voice. It's allowing myself that permission to speak openly and freely. And hopefully, just even if it touches somebody, if it can help somebody's journey, then it's been a success. But would I still record this even if I knew nobody would listen? Yes. Because most importantly, it's for me. It's for me to allow myself that permission to create, to have a voice, whether or not anybody listens. And it got me thinking that if we say the word art and creativity, for me initially, it would be painting. That is what would come to mind. But actually it's not. I've actually realised that I'm creative in loads of other ways, like I've just said, the podcast. Being able to get your hands and creating something with wood. Whether it's cooking in the kitchen and being able to bring ingredients together. Whether it's taking photographs of anything, your kids, family, beautiful scenery. What about decorating spaces? We are all creating all the time in all aspects of our life. And sometimes it's about just allowing that permission to run free with it and see what happens. See what we come up with. And if it's not perfect, okay, guess what? We can change it. Because if you never try, you'll never know. And that has been the beauty of starting. And honestly, this is the start of something amazing. An amazing journey with this amazing charity. I'm so excited to be a part of it. And I've realised that maybe creativity wasn't something that I needed to find. It was something that I needed to stop suppressing and start noticing that sometimes I was already doing it. Because I think we spend so much time trying to figure out who we are, what actually maybe we just need to notice. What makes us feel alive? And for me, right now, apparently, it's walking into a new job, being able to go into a wood workshop, picking up a piece of wood, picking up some fresh herbs from the garden and thinking, right, what can I make with this? Thank you so much for listening. And as always, today has already been an amazing day.